Yo guys, I'm back and I'm backseat driver. So today I'm going to be doing an up close and personal special review of a car that's quite close to me actually, because it is my dad's car. And for my first video I thought it would be quite interesting to do this, as I'm quite used to it and I think I know where everything is, so this may test my memory. So first of all, I just want to point out how good Citeron have done it here with the ds5, as they have done some silver accents, some lovely wheels, different styling at points, and they've all chucked it into one car. And I think that's amazing, because it's like, you know, VW Golf, BMW 1 Series are all so plain as it's said, because of the fact that it's just a German rival, you know. So we better start in the back here. And I've got to say, it's quite good, because if, you know, the person in front of you is being generous and they lift the seat up for you, you can just slide your feet underneath for those longer journeys. You cannot recline the seats, however. That may become an annoying feature, having to sit straight upright all the time. Now, if you're the middle passenger, you do have an armrest if there is no middle passenger, and also an access point to the boot. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. Now here, if you're the middle passenger, I have to say, you will not be so bad for your, you know, your raiding space, because this hump is not humongous. It's actually quite small, I have to say, for a car of its size, you know, with everything it's got to pack to the rear wheels. It's very small. Also, if you're sitting behind the passenger seat, you have the nets on the back of the seats, aircon vents, you know, your window controls, because there is nothing on the side panels at all. So this is the last time you'll see the back seat. I just want to demonstrate the door bins. They're quite big. I am going to test it with a big bottle. If that works, it will be a success. So one thing, and the reason I left the doors open, is because of the kiddie locks. These annoy me, as I'm nearly 13, and I think that, you know, I don't need a kiddie lock anymore, and they're just done automatically. This car has a mind of its own. Yes, I'm not mad. Also, this car has keyless entry and start system, so you'd press on this ribbed area and it would lock the car automatically, all four doors and the boot. We'll move around to the boot. This car was specified with a handy tail hook. Just pop the boot underneath here. You do have a little camera and your boot release, and you just grab it from here and pull it right up. I lift this up all the time to demonstrate the boot space. As you can see, there is a lot of rubbish in here, you'll have to excuse that, but I'm now going to demonstrate what happens here with this. You push this down and then fit your skis or your umbrella in there, and it all goes in perfectly fine. You also have some handy hooks on the floor to tie stuff down, some hooks here, and this hook here, you just pull that down and you hook your item in there. So now, let me just pull the umbrella back out. I'll shut the boot, but before I shut the boot, I'd like to say something that disappoints me, and this is it. This is the the blind spot, if you will, because you cannot see out of the rear window because of this pillar, which is why across the range there is a reversing camera, and it is necessary. Don't think I'm joking. So here you have a hook, pull that and the thing comes flying down. As I was saying, this car is stylish and it has a mind of its own. So I just want to point out a few features that annoy me. If you're sitting in the front and there's only two passengers in the car, you only need to press once on the keyless entry button. However, if you're sitting in the back, you need to press it twice. So that annoys me, one feature. Also, the windscreen wipers go on automatically without warning. Secondly, when pulling this down, this annoys me, as it's not very big and you have to do your precision and excellence putting stuff in and then rive it shut. There is no cup holders in this car. There is this tiny storage area, but where the hell are you meant to put your bottle of water? Citeron put the cup holders down here. But the problem is you cannot actually fit a bottled water in there. So yeah, that's my moreover. One more thing I'd have to say. How do they expect you to change that? You can't even change it. Literally, not joking. You can't change it. There's no way to go into the settings and change it. Secondly, annoys me most is the fact that there is no answer your call and decline your call on the steering wheel. It's down here, meaning you have to take your eyes off the road and nearly crash the car. Secondly, let me just jump outside. I mentioned earlier, there is kiddie locks. Funny thing is, it works on one side of the car and not the other. Another thing that annoys me, stand at the front. You may see, if you are sitting in the car in front of you, you look in your mirrors, you look eyesight, look where the indicators are. You're not going to be able to see that if you're sitting in a Range Rover, I tell you that much. Also, wheels. They wear away very quickly. Be warned. Buy something that looks sensible with the wheel choices, as it wears away. Yes, wears away. Scratches everywhere, scratches everywhere. Also, the tyres needed to be replaced because the one Citeron provided us with didn't work when we had an accident and hit a pothole. Secondly, this car is a dirt magnet. It might just be an unlucky car, but when you have to look for rear visibility, even though you can't see it, this windscreen wiper is tiny and it gets really dirty. Also, the reversing camera glitches quite a lot. The parking sensors beep, 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 beep. You could be a mile away from that garage door and it would still beep. Also, when it does rain and you need your windscreen wipers and you do happen to have it on automatic, it doesn't work. One thing I do like about this car is the amount of boot space. Just demonstrate quickly. Boot space is amazing. One thing that annoys me, this here, well, that's just fallen off because it's broken and it's come off. The catch is broken. And also, if you want to stick it up like that and you want to leave it like that, it goes down. Useless. And say you're in a rush to get to work and your partner has been driving the car. Notice there is 3 stages for the seats, heated seats and all of the controls. Yes, that takes an absolute age, right? Absolute age. And the pedals, put your foot on the clutch, it's a manual gearbox, find the biting point. Oh wait, you've got an electric parking brake. You could be like that, and you could accidentally press this. The car would either move forward, or it would just stop. We've never had that, but it's happened to someone that I know. So, as I mentioned here, you have a little access point. You could easily place a phone in there, and it would sit nicely. Say you want to charge your phone. Notice the auxiliary point here. If I was to charge my phone, stick it in there. The wire, there is no way to clip it in, so it just dangles everywhere, messing up your driving. Also, seats, lovely and comfortable. You do have lumbar support here, although it is very, very, very stiff to have to move back. Also, flat bottom steering wheel. It looks very ugly when you have the steering wheel that's at the bottom facing upwards. Also, quite hard to sort of get a good grip because there's this huge, it's about that big there on either side. And also, there's no, you couldn't do that. Or say you were bored, press the horn. It actually is not very loud. Loads of buttons here. They do nothing. Buttons that are there are quite glitchy. That pops the boot. That pops the petrol gauge. Although, I have to just say, this car shouldn't be a negative thing, as it's my dad's car. And I do love it very dearly. It's stylish. It looks nice, it's efficient, it doesn't drink the fuel like other cars, but But I have to say, it's not the best thing I've seen in the world. Now, until the new Alfa Romeo Juliet comes out, this has got to be one of the most stylish cars ever seen. LEDs, corner turning lights, LED indicator strips, folding door mirrors, silver accents everywhere. You know, everything has a purpose, but not everything works correctly. Because, as I said, they've packed so much style into this car, they forgot the true meaning of what really should the car do, which is drive. Everybody wants something that looks good and stylish. Nobody, however, wants to drive something that is, well, hard to say it's ugly, but after, say, 4 years of driving it, it may look pretty ugly, with all the scuffs on the wheels and the odd scratch here and there, everything will be dirty, stuff will start to wear away, leather will look a bit ripped. It already is ripping. We've only had the car for 2 years, and the leather is ripping. However, I have to say, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in the world, seeing as I've sat in a lot of cars, and I've sat in a lot of cars since the day I was born, and I have to say, this is not the worst. This is quite an extraordinary thing. For a Citeron, they have done very well. Congratulations, Citeron. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.